Boy, do I have a long story for you. First of all, let me tell you this. Even in the hospital, you're not safe from scammers. This phone, it's way back here. It's nowhere near me, right? And I got all kinds of hoses and stuff connected to me. I can't get up and walk over and grab that phone. That phone rang so much that my wife unplugged it. And it's not anybody I know. Nobody would call me here that's not a scammer. And even my phone here has gone off with people wanting my credit card number for an order that didn't go through on the last credit card number I gave them. Even in the hospital, you're not immune from it. So let me go back a long time ago, probably 11 years ago or so, when I got my very first strike on YouTube. And deservedly, because I did something that was misconstrued as mean. I didn't intend it to be mean, but it was taken as being mean, and I understand why. And, I removed the video, and they gave me a strike, and I deserved it. And what that was about was a guy was in the store shopping, and he had a bag of pee strapped to his leg. He had a catheter. And instead of wearing pants to cover up the bag of pee, he wore shorts, and his bag of pee was just flopping around everywhere, And I thought, hold on. Okay, back to the story. I had to have my blood pressure taken. So we left the store, and we come across this guy walking down the street with a little bag of groceries and his shorts on, and his bag of pee just flopping around in the breeze. And I took a short clip of that. I shouldn't have. And I wasn't making fun of him having a pee bag. I was laughing at the fact that instead of wearing, sweatpants or whatever, that he chose shorts. And that was exactly what I said. So I'm going to get to why I've come to this conclusion. Maybe the guy was just so freaking happy to be home. He did not care about flopping his bag of pee around for the world to see, because that's what's going to be happening to me. Now, I'm going to talk about my bag of pee. First of all, I have run the gamut of personalities. I have some stories to tell you. This is going to be a long video. I don't know I can upload it here. Many years ago, I had to have some lipomas removed in actually a couple of my legs, 2 of them. And some of them were painful, and one of them was very painful, and it was on a main vein, and it was pressing up, and my muscles were pressing it into the vein, and I could feel numbness on my leg because of it. So I came to this doctor, and I won't mention his name because I'm still in this hospital. And my initial consultation with him was not nice. He was a dick, an arrogant dick. And I'll give you the brief encounter. He says, "How much beer do you drink?" This is before surgery, He asked me how much beer I drink, and I said, "I don't drink at all. I don't drink anything." He goes, "No, come on." And he's looking at me. Back then I'm still a fat guy, but I was even fatter back then. He goes, looking me up and down, he goes, "No, come on, really, how much beer do you drink?" I said, "I don't drink beer. I just told you I don't drink beer. I don't drink alcohol, any kind of alcohol. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't do drugs." And he acted like he didn't believe me. And there's a couple of other little things like that were kind of unbelievable that a doctor would treat somebody that way. So he does the surgery, and the most painful one I went there with, he didn't remove. He took the others out, but he left the main one that I was going there for. When the surgery's over, he never came and talked to me. He didn't come out and tell my wife the surgery was over. A real jerk. So here I am back in the hospital, and he's part of that group will be doing the surgery on me. And this is just the most bizarre story. And he was one of the ones that was offered to me. And I said, no, not him. And there was 2 others, and I chose the one that could get me in the quickest, you know. And today, that guy that I'm telling you I don't like, he's got a real personality defect, comes in here. Now, I'm a sick guy in bed. And he comes in here, and he leans over me real close in a borderline intimidating, borderline aggressive manner, and asks me if I'm okay with my decision to choose this doctor that I chose. And I said, yeah, that was my choice. Why would I not be okay with it? So you're going to go with him? Yeah, well, good luck. And he shakes my hand, and that's a mental case. And that is somebody who is a danger to people because they're so egomaniacal that they could never admit that they're making a mistake and try another path or use another tact on a problem. Even if they made a mistake, they would never admit to making a mistake and correct it. That's somebody that could cause a lot of harm to people because of their ego. So that's one thing. And then nurses, I've had the most compassionate and hardworking and kind-hearted and pleasant nurses, and some of the laziest, dysfunctional. How did they get through the doors of this place and actually go into patients' rooms? Today I've had one. Now, I've got a catheter in. And by the way, if you don't know what that is, they take this broomstick-sized hose and they hammer it into your Johnson with a mallet, past your prostate and into your bladder. And then they attach it to a bag. And you pee in that bag from now on. Not from now on. I'll get to that. So the doctor that I chose comes in and tells me that he's scheduling me for Wednesday and, the procedure leading up to it and all that. And he leaves, and within, probably 30 seconds, the doctor who I did not choose comes in, and that's when he goes through that little mini intimidation thing. And in my mind, I'm thinking, you see a frail old sick guy in a bed, but trust me, buddy, there is still a monster in me, and I will rip this shit out of me if you get any closer to my face. Anyway, who should have to go through this in a hospital? So now I've got this bag of pee, right? And last night, the lady emptied it twice. I don't know what they call her, a nurse tech, what do they call her? Maybe a nursing assistant. A nursing assistant, yeah. And she was a very nice lady. She emptied it twice. And the same amount of time has gone by, and this lady that today is a nursing assistant, okay, she comes in with my tray of food. Now, I'm laid back in bed, right? And she comes up. Now, I've got this thing right here. But she could not walk around the bed and come put my meal here. She wants me to take this tray and put it in my lap. And I said, can you come set it down, please? I mean, I got to raise the bed up and get, move around, get ready to eat. What? I can't do that with a tray in my lap. That same lady has come in here and looked at this bag like 3 times and looked at her watch to see how she wants the next shift to be stuck with emptying my bag of pee. So I got up, and it's easy to figure out. So I emptied it myself. It's that's what I'm talking about, the gamut of good people and bad people. And then there's a lady that every time it's nighttime, she'll come in here and she will not turn the light off when she leaves. And I gotta yell. She wakes you up just enough to recognize that she hasn't turned the light off. Who wants to sleep with lights on them, And I yell, please turn the light off. Please turn the light off. And she'll come back and turn it off reluctantly, just bizarre. They're really some weird people. Just like society, you have just a gamut of people. So Wednesday, here's how the surgery is going to go. This is going to be about a year-long process for me to be completely back to normal. Wednesday, they'll get me prepped, and believe it or not, they're going to run a light up into my catheter, into my bladder, so they'll know where the hole is and where to sew up and stuff like that. And, I'll be in ICU for a day, and then they'll move me, I don't know what they call it, step down or something like that. And more than likely, after 4 or 5 days, go home with a colostomy, because I've got so much bad going on in there. They can't reconnect me. They can't cut the bad part out and reconnect me immediately, because I just got way too much bad going on in there. And they need to let it rest and the inflammation go away. And he said about 6 months. So I'll have a colostomy for about 6 months. And I'll have to drag this bag of pee around me for a couple of weeks at least. And that's what made me think way back to that guy who I was, some thought, making fun of, and I really wasn't. I was making fun of his clothing choice. I thought that guy must have been just so freaking happy to be home. He didn't care who saw his pee bag, because that's how I'm going to feel when I get home. Anyway, what a bizarre world we live in. So, for 6 months, I'll have this colostomy, and then I'll have to go back in with a scope and check all my parts and see if it's reconnectable. I mean, I suppose there is the chance that I'll have to live with a colostomy. I accept that as well. I just want to go home and resume some kind of life. And since we're talking, I'm probably looking at filing bankruptcy down the road. I cannot make knives. I cannot pay for my motorcycle. And now I'm going to have $40,000 or $50,000 worth of medical bills that I just don't know how I'm going to pay. And I don't want to lose my house. And I don't want to lose my only vehicle, the truck. So that's, just something I got to think about now. I've already found a bankruptcy attorney in Marshall. Bankruptcy is there for people who don't want to lose their house, Anyway, what else? So, if you're of the praying sort, if you would start Wednesday morning praying in earnest for me, I'd appreciate it. Alrighty, that's 11 minutes. I'll have a good Tuesday.